Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Claw and the King podcast. Back again, joined by my co-host Oscar. Big couple of weeks in sport. Really, some big seasons have been kicked off in their respective sports. Is there an avenue that you want to go through first? You can talk about a personal story in your life.
A personal story.
Didn't you play rugby the other week?
I did
First
play.
time in a while?
Yeah, I did play a game of rugby the other week. Quite the experience.
Yeah.
The audience probably isn't aware, but I'm not the biggest. I haven't played the most rugby in my life.
Well, no, you're
Probably.
not built for it. I think that's the main thing. You can't.
No, well, I've probably got the frame. I just haven't developed it into a rugby sort of build.
I agree.
But,
yeah.
You're
big boned, but without the meat on the end.
Yeah. So anyway, I did play. It was union, first game I played since school. So not to expose my age, but that's 6 years at this point.
God, the game's gone, mate.
Game's gone.
That's like a flashbang. Jeez, before you know, it's gonna be 10-year anniversary. Oh, God.
Yes, it's tough. Time really does fly when you're having fun, and I'm having
yeah,
fun.
we're having fun. Yeah. So yeah, how did you go? Did you win?
No, we lost. So we had one less player, so it was 14-15 the whole game. So that's a disadvantage.
They're not like drop a player or like. Can they just play 14?
No, they were not going to be friendly like that. So we were playing Blacktown. So they were all ginormous islanders. And it was brutal. The contact was brutal. I mean, I hadn't made a tackle in, as I said, a long time. So apparently I just put my head, I honestly closed my eyes and just hoped for the best the first one. But apparently I put it like half a shot on this guy.
Right.
And then after that I did get stepped and fended once. But all in all,
yeah.
I did all right. Made a few tackles, made a couple runs, gave away a penalty because no one got over the top of me and I didn't release. But that can't be helped.
No.
All in all, it was actually pretty fun. Shout out to our mate Stully who invited me down to fill in. It was actually
Shout out.
a good day. Saw a couple of old faces. It was the school old boys team, so a couple people I hadn't seen in a while. It was good to catch up. But yeah, it was fun. I was in no way, shape or form conditioned. I ended up tearing both my quads just because I probably hadn't sprinted over 20 metres in years.
Yeah.
So,
well, look, it happens. Well, glad you got back on the horse. I mean, rugby obviously was our main sort of thing at school, but or a main sport. I didn't play it that much because I'm not really built for it because I'm skinny as fuck. But yeah, I mean, look, the main thing is you came out in one piece. When you're going against Islanders, they've got an advantage. They've got a physical advantage, and that's just how life is.
Yeah.
And the fact that even though you lost, how much did you lose by?
it was close. I think it was a one-score game.
Okay, there you go. You put on a show. You put on a bit of a fight.
And if the game went longer, we probably would have won. We were chasing them down because I think we probably had a fitness advantage.
Were they a bit too big?
Some of them were a little on the larger side, just for the sake of being large. Not
Okay,
really.
Gotcha. So it wasn't like they weren't it's not in the gym large. It's more in the sort of fast food large.
Well, just on the the sausage sizzle after the games.
Yeah. You're not having one. You're having 2 or 3. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Back on the horse. Anyway, moving to some rugby league then. Season's wrapping up. The top 8's kind of making a good. It's actually quite a good sort of battle between top 4 and top 8 at the moment. You don't often see that. Yeah, it's quite an interesting one. Obviously, the Panthers game, which is obviously your team, probably the greatest ending. It's almost like, have you seen the Auburn, Alabama college game, that highlight that was years ago where the Alabama was going for a field goal for the win, and then the guy caught it in the end zone. The Auburn guy caught it in the end zone and ran it for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
So it's quite almost reminded me of that. Cleary lines it up, hits it off not even like it. Sometimes when it hits the post, people like over exaggerate how close it was because it hits like the outside or what. This hit like the inside of the post. This could have easily just hit the inside of the post and gone in, but it comes out to Ricky Stewart's son, who
Jed.
I can't say that name. Sorry. What is Jed? What is that short for Jedi?
Well,
I mean, what is that?
Similar to Ned.
But who calls their kid Ned nowadays?
I don't know. Ned Stark.
What is Jed
Stark?
It's got to be Jed Stark. It's got to be short for something. What is Jed short for?
Jediah.
If you know, please let us know in the comments. Judasia.
Well, probably not Judasia, but
that's the closest we've got. Surely, that's an actual name. Okay, so Judasia Stewart. He caught the ball, did a bit of a jump pass almost.
But let's just get to him catching the ball first. Let's start there. Liam Martin.
Yeah.
Can somebody explain to you the fucking rules of the game? Liam Martin's standing right there when Jed Stewart's catching the ball, ready to flatten him out, and he lets him run because he thinks he's going to give away a tackling in the air penalty, even though the ball's bounced and there's no penalty after the ball bounces.
Liam Martin known for showing restraint.
The whole play was nullified right then and there if Liam Martin just knew the fucking rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I'm blaming him completely and utterly. He's been.
So who got fended by Ethan Strange? Was it
Dylan? We can get to Dylan.
Yeah, definitely the best fullback in
Dylan,
New South Wales.
But anyway, continue running through the play again.
So yeah, he catches it, passes it to. Did he pass it to Strangey then?
Yeah,
and then Strangey kind of runs on the outside.
Don't call him Strangey.
That's what his dad's called.
You're not his mate.
That's what his dad. Sorry.
I now hate the Raiders.
Can I not call? We're not calling Nathan Cleary Clear Dog.
No,
can I not?
You can't. The amount of shit you've talked about him, you cannot call him Clear Dog.
Yeah. But it's like, do I have to say Jared Warrior Hargraves or can I say JWH?
Well, yeah, you support the Roosters, so you can say JWH.
Okay. So, can a Canberra supporter say Strangey then?
Sure.
Okay. But technically his dad is a coach for the NRLW Roosters women's side, so I can call him Strangey.
Do you call Jasmine Strangey?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. Well, I'm a Roosters fan. I don't know.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do know Jasmine Strange. Yes, I do. Yeah. Well, look, Strange.
Yeah.
He runs around the outside, beats a couple, and then it looks like who's closing him down? Was it Tuolungi or?
Yeah, Blaze was coming and someone else was there.
And it looked like he was going to get there initially, but then it looked like he was getting caught up. And then he passed it on the inside to KO Weeks, who basically dives over. Bit of contact from it. He had a bit to do. He wasn't sort of home and free.
He had a few meters to run.
And then, scores a try. Unbelievable try. And the fact that it was in Canberra as well makes it even better. If it was an away game, it'd be like, wow, that's crazy. But the fan
It wasn't
reaction,
in Canberra.
Was it?
It was in Mudgee.
Ah, fuck. It looked like Canberra. No, you're right. I remember that now. Because I remember the kid that... You see the kid in the dinosaur costume?
Yeah.
That ran a yowie and just went... just took his Canberra... That was funny. And then he got in the sheds after. Great guy. Props to the kid. So, yeah, look, he was in a shithole anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Mate, how lucky are they, though, that they just... Mudgee happened to witness, like, the best game of the year.
The best game of the year being in Mudgee is borderline criminal. Why is the best game of the year? Why? Who decided?
Well,
Canberra?
who would have picked Canberra to be this good at the start of the year?
You'd expect them to be top 8. That's where you
They were favourites for the Spoon.
No,
Yeah.
Raiders were not favourites for the
They
Spoon
were
this year.
definitely up there.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They were definitely up there.
I don't know what you're smoking. The Raiders have never finished on the Spoon.
Well, they were not fancied at the start of the year.
I know, but that's where you shit Tigers, Titans. I mean, that's where you shit the fucking... When you know at the start of the season, all right, this is going to be a shitter. This is going to be an absolute stinker. Let's put it up in Mudgee. No disrespect to the Mudgee fans, because I'm sure they love rugby league. But that's where you get it in a comeback. Or even at GIO Stadium. Get it in somewhere that where you have a majority of one fan base and you can get sort of the main fans out there. Not that Mudgee fans aren't real fans, but I'm just saying. Do you have a team? I don't know. Is there Penrith? Was it a Penrith home game?
It's a Penrith home game.
Do you have like an academy up in Mudgee or something?
I I'm sure we've got some sort of pathways program.
Okay, great. Yeah, lovely.
Something like that.
Something.
But yes, to analyse the game a little bit more, Dylan Edwards sucked. He's regressed to his form that he had at the start of his career that saw him get dropped from first grade because he couldn't catch a ball.
Maybe he's just not that good. Have you thought about
Well, he's... Yeah, I'm now coming to that realisation. I think that he just is...
Maybe the Dally M Player of the Year should have been the fullback for New South Wales.
Yeah, look, I've defended Dylan more than most, but he has been so bad the last 2 weeks especially. Now you can't drop him. You have to give him the chance because he's...
Yeah, you can't drop him. That's criminal.
You've got to give him the chance. And the thing is, we've lost to the two best teams in the comp in Golden Point the past 2 weeks in games that we arguably were the better team in.
But maybe your luck's run out. You used to be just the scammiest little...
Yeah, I know. But I'm also kind of like happy that it's happening in the regular season. So maybe our luck will turn in the finals.
I think that's how it works. You scammed it like 7 times straight in Golden Point. And maybe it's just a 7 and then you lose 7 in a row in Golden Point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The issue is we've probably lost top 4 now. With Warriors winning yesterday, that's now going to probably be a bridge too far. So we're going to have to go the long way. Probably going to have to play...
I'm going to go the long... Sorry.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I was just getting in my feels. That's a bit... I mean, it's a bit of a long shot, though. I mean, even though you're going the long way, and if any team could do it, it would be Penrith. I don't believe any team from the bottom 4 has won a premiership.
No team has done it, but that just makes the story even better.
Yeah, if you won that, then it's just, what the fuck? Let's just disband the competition. Okay, that's interesting. So you're probably not going to make the top 4. I mean, if you said at the start of the season, who would... Out of that, if you see currently who's in the 8, what would be the top 4? What would be the bottom 4? I think 99% of people would have said the bottom 4 would be in the top 4 and the top 4 would be in the bottom 4.
Apart from Melbourne, yeah.
But even, like, you'd say Penrith, Broncos, Roosters.
Probably wouldn't have said Roosters.
Oh, come on.
Everyone was saying it was a rebuild year at the start of the year.
Well, look, it was. But the brand itself, you can put it in the top 4. You can put it. It's a top 4 club.
Okay. Sharks even. But yeah, you definitely wouldn't have picked Warriors top 4, Raiders top 4, even Dogs to an extent.
Well, talk about falling apart. I mean, the Doggies.
Yeah, Dogs are in a spot of bother at the moment.
Was it the right move to drop Sexton and Marnie?
I think you should probably comment on this. Maybe. I think it's a hard decision either way. There's definitely an argument that they have regressed a little bit. I think it's a bit tricky. People clowning the Galvin signing. He's a young kid. He's clearly got talent. So yeah, I don't think signing him was a bad deal whatsoever. I think it's more that they needed probably a year. Like, who says he was ready this year? I mean, he'd been playing well and he's showing signs in a Tigers team with no pressure. They've got no pressure to win big games or do whatever. The fans are just happy that they score points most weeks. So in recent years, they're doing better this year, obviously. Sorry for clowning on the Tigers a bit this show. But yeah, in recent years, they were just happy if they scored. And that pressure is a lot different to, hey, we're competing for a title here. You need to be performing week in, week out. And he's a teenager, so you can't expect that he would just be able to do that right away. So I get the reasoning for starting him, and look, maybe it's the blooding him early that you want to sort of get him done, get him sorted, and so for next year he's sort of prepared. Sorry, how you doing? That was really, but just do one big one. Just do it. The Marnie one's a bit tricky for me. I think obviously he's going to the Cowboys, but I always saw Bailey Hayward as a lock. Like, he's a really good tackler, but has he ever shown the finesse and the attacking prowess out of dummy half? Well, he's probably a bit small for a starting lock.
I don't know.
I'd say. He's pretty small.
But he's built, like, he's short, but he's not, like, small. Like,
he's pretty small.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, is Victor Radley any bigger?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think... you have smaller locks that can play. I get that maybe he's maybe a hybrid and he's maybe more of a utility in that role, but I still think if you're in the top 4, you've got to be trying to win, especially if Penrith aren't in the top 4.
Yeah, but like the thing is with the Dogs, they've already got that type of lock. And I mean, Jamin Salmon is a lock to play lock, it appears, every week. And then you've got Kurt Mann, who's the same sort of player off the bench.
I get that. I do get that. I understand that, but I don't know. I just think Reid Marnie, yes, he gave away penalties. Yes, he's a bit of a nutcase sometimes, but he's a really good tackler and he gives really good ball out of dummy half. And he's got a good kick on him. He's very, he can always turn sort of, if you're making not enough meters in a set and it's fourth tackle, he can always sort of try for a 40-20 and get sort of the team the other side. He's a really good sort of energizer to have around. I just don't understand the reasoning. I know he's on the bench, but I don't understand the reasoning for not sort of picking him. I completely get it if you're coming 8th the whole year and you're like, look, probably not going to win this year. We want to switch things up. We want to just get prepared for next year and really make a push next year. But the time you made the changes, you're fighting for the minor premiership. So I just think it's kind of like a bit too overconfidence from an outsider's. I just think it's a bit overconfident to think that you can just switch and plug and play anyone, and it's a system. But in reality, you need good players to be in that system. You need players that are informed to be playing in that system, players that are used to that system to be playing that system for it to be good. Because Serraldo, I think, was his first year. He came 15th or something?
Yeah, 15th. They were down the bottom.
So, look, I think he's a great coach. I think what they're doing there, obviously the turnaround's been incredible. I don't hate the signings that they've made or the new ones or whatever, or letting Marnie go eventually or Sexton go. Because I ultimately believe that Sexton probably isn't going to be a premiership winning halfback. But at the end of the day, you've got to have a bit more foresight in saying, all right, let's just take our time with it. Let's not sort of rush it. We're really fighting for a premiership here, and we have a real shot at it. So let's just keep things how it is. And look, was Sexton the most creative? I think he's had like 1 try assist the whole year. So he wasn't like setting the world on fire, but it's more of don't fix things that aren't broken kind of deal. But anyway, I think, yeah, in terms of the top 4 race, they're still in it. So hopefully finals comes up soon and be an interesting one over the next couple of weeks, see who sort of comes in and who matches up. Who do you reckon is going to win the title this year?
Look, I still think Penrith are a real chance. Obviously, I'm going to say that, but
yeah,
it's hard to go past Melbourne and Canberra at the moment. They look like the 2 best teams. Melbourne haven't had Jerome Hughes the past few weeks. They've still been winning. So they've got their best player to come back. Harry Grant has just been suspended for 2 weeks, which is very convenient.
Yeah, what did you make of that call? The fact that he was sin bin for that.
Well, it should have been a sin bin.
Yeah.
Just clear shoulder charge to the head.
I think it's different though. The intent, like when a shoulder charge, you're running in and you're intending to sort of lay out with your shoulder.
Okay, it's not a.
He's running into him.
It's not a prime JWH shoulder charge, sure, but
he's running. But the guy's running into him, and it's more of like a brace. Like it's
yeah, but
not
you can't brace. You're not allowed to do that.
I get that, but there is no intent to put a shoulder charge on and put a big hit on. It's an intent to, oh shit, he's come right here, so I have to kind of go like that.
Yeah, but he still shoulder charged him in the head as a result.
But he runs into, like I said, he's not shoulder charging him. He's hitting his shoulder.
He is lifting as he does it.
Yeah, but he's not moved forward. He's moved back. I don't know. I feel like I'm fucking salsa dancing or something.
Yeah. As the NRL has sort of shown this year, if there's contact to the head and you're not doing the correct action, that's just what's going to happen. So.
Yeah. What did you make of the week before when they played Penrith and everyone's calling it Flopgate?
Oh God. Do we need to go into that?
We can go into Flop. I actually think we might have differing opinions on Flopgate.
Oh, I reckon we will. What I think of Flopgate, I think Harry Grant's a flop. He's a grub. He's a Queenslander, and that's something a Queenslander would do. Is
right.
run directly into the one player standing within 15 metres of the ball. No attempt to get to Cleary. Actually tackle Moses Leota himself and fall to the ground like a loser and get a penalty.
Right. Is what Moses Leota did illegal?
No.
You're an idiot.
Not in my opinion.
You're a Penrith fan and an idiot.
Not in my opinion. But that's the bigger question. Why is that illegal?
Because you can't just set up Penrith got away with it for years.
You should be able to do that.
That's why the rule
Have you
changed.
seen all the field goals this week? It's like the fucking what's it when Moses parts the sea? There's just a channel to a field goal kicker standing 30 metres back.
Do you want it to be the NFL where it's just got a million blockers in front of him? Just fucking
you can have people standing in the line as if it's a normal play the ball in a rugby league game. Sure, you can't block next to the ruck, but if you're standing 5 metres next to the play the ball, like decoying to take a hit up, you should be able to do that.
I'll say again, is what Moses Leota did illegal?
No. Not illegal.
It is 100%.
They brought in the rule for blockers next to the ruck.
They did it because you got away with it for so long.
Whoever got away with it is not the point.
Cheating little, let's find an advantage here or there.
How is it cheating?
Because they're trying to stop
everybody uses blockers. Every single
no one
team
does.
uses blockers.
No one does.
No one does.
No, I've never seen that. No one's used a blocker this year because the rule came in.
What?
Who's used blockers?
Every team. Every field goal kicked has blockers. Until that one, and now this week, everyone's gone, oh, shit. Nobody stand anywhere near the play the ball.
Okay, you're just not even acknowledging the fact that what Moses Leota did is against the rules, number one. Number two,
okay,
Leota does it. It's not like Leota's just like an innocent bystander and he stands like a fucking pencil.
Yeah,
he leans into Harry Grant, first of all. So he's leaning in and he's trying to sort of adjust his line. Don't you say that he didn't.
Yeah, but he doesn't move, really. He moves like maybe 30 centimetres. And Harry Grant takes a... Look, the thing is, Harry Grant didn't have to run into him. He could have easily gone...
That's the point of a blocker, so he can take a long way around so he doesn't get to the...
There was a shorter path to Nathan Cleary that didn't include Moses Leota. But he chose to take a longer path to milk it.
I'm going to curl around and make sure to get across... How long do you think that fucking takes? Does he have a realistic chance of blocking that? No.
No. There's no chance of blocking it either way. So why is it a penalty?
So why does he do it? Cleary can kick it from fucking 40, 50 metres out, and Leota is standing there like an idiot.
Because he was trying to take a hit up. He didn't know who was going to get the ball.
If you don't think that was intentional to block, you're an idiot.
Not intentional.
Then, oh my God, mate. You're insane, mate.
Harry Grant, look, I hate flopping. I hate people that stay down. The people that stay down from the tiniest head highs.
Yeah, obviously everyone hates that. But this is a lot different.
It's not a lot different.
Because if
it's a fucking Melbourne Storm player milking the rules again like they always do.
Right. You cannot say about rule manipulation. Penrith fans have no right to say about that. Mr. Trader runs in front of the kicker.
Everybody does that.
Mr. Trader gets involved when he was about to score in a prelim final.
Injuries happen.
Yeah, I bruised my ankle. Sorry,
Injuries happen, man.
Your bread and butter in close games is rule manipulation.
It's also amazing plays.
And the whole reason why it happened, even though you will not admit it, is because Penrith tried to rule manipulate and tried to get a blocker in there to allow Cleary more time to
Everybody uses blockers.
No one's used blockers. I've not seen a block in the Penrith Canberra game this week. No one used a blocker.
That's what I'm saying. This week, everyone got rid of the blockers.
Oh, this week, everyone got rid of it. If you watch a field goal, no one uses a blocker. No one does anymore because it's illegal.
We've had how many penalties? Probably 30 penalties in games this year from blockers at field goals.
No.
Yes.
Well, it's been penalised then. It's been penalised consistently throughout the year.
Yeah,
and
but like a lot more clear ones.
Your rule, you keep acting like you don't manipulate the rules.
Maybe there's a bit of rule manipulation. Who doesn't do that? Everyone does that.
No, but there's bad. You do it. We actually have to change rules because you do it so often. Remember when it was kicking, when it was the fifth tackle kicks, and Penrith used to fucking line up Isaiah Yeo and Leota and Lanu and just have them in a line so that Cleary could have the time, have a tea, have a bit of lunch, have a bit of a snack.
That's
and
good
then
coaching.
Kick for the fifth tackle.
That's just good coaching.
We had to get rid of it.
That's good coaching.
You're always trying to find a little eeky way to fucking get an advantage.
And that's what the best do.
I'm not saying that that hasn't worked. I'm saying that the fact that you're denying that you don't at least fucking play on the line is a bit fucking bullshit.
We do, but we would never do what Harry Grant did. Never.
I can guarantee you would.
An honourable man would never do that.
100% guarantee you would.
No.
And the fact that Nathan Cleary comes out in the press conference after the game talking about, this is bullshit, about how
it is
the refs.
What should Moses do?
The week before, you literally won the game doing dodgy tactics, and you didn't mention it once. So let's fucking play a bit fair here.
That was an honest mistake. That wasn't dodgy tactics. That wasn't dodgy tactics.
You don't think the call went down? You don't think there was a...
No call went down.
Mate,
there was a brain explosion from the trainer.
We could go through it again. But the whole explanation from Ivan Cleary, when he was asked about it in the press conference, was that he was relaying tactics to the team. He was already in the team huddle, and then he runs back to the sideline.
Yeah, because he was like, I finished relaying the tactics. Let me run back to the...
let me run back.
Maybe there's more tactics I need to relay. Let me go check with halfway line.
He's got something in his ear, mate. He can fucking do it.
No, he doesn't. It doesn't have that much range, the Bluetooth.
Right,
he needs to get back to halfway.
Doesn't have that much range, yeah. So he needs to go back to the sideline to go back and let them know. Yeah, right.
And, look, it was just a mistake. I mean, he probably shouldn't have run through the kicker, but what can you do?
He probably shouldn't. Yeah, probably shouldn't.
He wasn't in his run-up. He wasn't, If Jaden Campbell didn't really kick up a fuss, no one would be talking about it.
Anyway, we'll move on from it. Did you see the reporter that was going after Des in the press conference?
No.
It was really bad. It was really weird.
Was it a known journalist?
I don't know who it was, but he was talking. He brought up the fact about David Fafita leaving in 2026, and Desi was like, he's contracted with, like every coach ever does. Says, well, he's contracted with us for 2026, refusing basically to add to the speculation because it is speculation at this point. And the reporter lost his shit and really threw his toys out the pram. It's embarrassing that there was more Warriors fans in the stadium today than Titans fans, and it was just really weird.
Well, what he was attacking Des specifically?
Well, he was just throwing his toys out the pram, just saying, "Don't you think it's weird, mate, that there was more Warriors fans and Titans fans in the arena, huh?"
Not really, considering the Warriors get fans everywhere.
But he was trying to make a snarky comment, just saying how bad the Titans are doing.
Well,
it's why don't you? How dare you not answer my question about a player potentially leaving?
Well, I mean, it seems like Des is sacked anyway, so he's probably not going to know what's going on.
Leave the guy alone. He's going to just fucking every coach in history would say that response. But some diehard Titans fans this is not good enough. You need to tell us.
Well, the one of three, but
which is bizarre.
And he somehow got his way in the media room. But the time David Fafita, apparently he's going to South, which is just really David Fafita. I don't know what you think about him, but I mean, saying he's going to the Roosters last year, then backflipping because he didn't want to move to Sydney, and now moving to the Rabbitohs a year later. I don't think it was that. I think it was more that whatever the Titans do, the Titans somehow managed to convince these big name players to just essentially stay in. People are saying Tino's. He could easily stay at the Gold Coast. I think Tino's probably gone as well.
But that's the thing. I think it's gotten to a I don't know what ownership or management were able to sort of say. But they managed to keep these Queenslanders in Queensland. I think that was the main thing. It was look, don't leave your family. You're at the Gold Coast. You can go to fucking Movie World every week and, you can...
Well, yeah.
I don't know what they say to him, but I think it's more the Titans are unbelievable at convince. People forget, Tino, even though there's stupid clauses in his contract, he signed a 10-year extension. It was part of a 10-year extension. He signed a 10-year extension with the Titans. He was the best prop in the game.
He wanted to be the guy that turned the franchise around, and now he's just realised there is no turning this club around.
They love I don't know what they do. They must boost their ego to an unbelievable extent. But yeah, essentially Fafita didn't decide to come to the Roosters. What a mistake that was. Look, the Roosters are rebuilding right now, but I mean, still, would you rather be playing for the Roosters or? But it was a great.
But David Fafita has been terrible. this
Well, that's the thing. It was
Like,
a major bullet dodged. I mean, it was kind of like we were replacing Crichton almost, but then Crichton was unbelievable that year. Like, fuck that. Thank God for that, and we resigned Crichton. So, yeah, Fafita, I think he's just desperate at this point. I think he realizes that if he wants to have a long career, then he needs to sort of change scenery. I don't know what's gone wrong with him. I think, obviously, supremely talented at the Broncos, went to the Gold Coast, and it just hasn't developed. He hasn't gotten any better. And really, usually you might sort of blame coaching or whatever. Maybe it's a culture problem that they don't have enough sort of culture within there, enough veterans at a good enough level or a good enough team to sort of drive younger players up. But it's the effort areas for me. Like, I know he's a big guy, but like, he is really just he's really not putting in any kind of effort, really.
No, and that's why Billy Slater, when he originally dropped David Fafita from the Queensland team, everyone was shocked. It was a massive surprise. Everyone thought he was a lock because he was still playing decent footy around that time. But Billy Slater obviously identified this guy is not working hard enough in the areas that matter and will show up in Origin. And it's just ever since then, really, it seems like he's just regressed. And now everyone's seen that he just looks really lazy on the field.
And I don't think it piles on. I think once that gets brought around, he gets dropped from Queensland, he's already feeling down on himself, and it's hard to dig yourself out of that hole, and you do need to change your scenery. I like the Rabbitohs as a fit, though. I think Wayne Bennett, you can say what he is, like, as a coach, maybe he's a bit overrated at this point, just because hasn't done that well in recent years, but I think his main thing is that he boosts the confidence of his players. That's one thing that you can always say about Wayne. He'll always praise his players, get them playing football at least happy. They might not be playing at their best, but they'll be playing in a good frame of mind. Maybe that's what Fafita needs. He needs because Des was and is a great coach, but he's a bit harsh. If you saw that shower scene earlier in the
that was great
season,
stuff.
Get out.
That was good stuff.
Out. Get in the shower. No, get the fuck out. And they won like 3 on the bounce after that, which was kind of bizarre. But yeah, just a juxtaposing sort of coaching styles, and I think that might sort of help him out.
Well, it's almost a last ride. It's similar to the Josh Schuster signing from South a year ago. He never.
Well, Josh Schuster was gone. He was gone.
But still,
he was gone about 30 seconds after he signed that deal at Manly, the $800,000 a year. He was like, "Thanks, boys.
I'll be off now.
I will not be working."
Yes. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if Souths really have. I don't think their back rows are that good. I mean, maybe when Cam Murray comes back, you move Keon back to the back row. But yeah, Souths obviously have had a terrible season.
I think
with
the Souths
injuries,
have got real problems in the forwards. I think, yeah, that even though they got some, I think Hubner's the young guy coming through, and they'd obviously want Talis Duncan in the second row, ideally. But yeah, I think size wise they've been a bit bad. They've had some injuries to some key forwards, but like Kepi is their main prop. Like at the moment, it's just like,
but that's just out of circumstance, like
because of injury.
Yeah.
I do get that, but like, come on, Kepi started for you week in week out. You got problems. So I think Fafita will bring a bit of size at least. Maybe he can play in the middle. Maybe he transitions into he's big enough to play prop. So
I do not think he'd be down to do that.
Well, I think why not? He plays less. He doesn't have to be on the field for 80 minutes if he's like he would be if he was second rower. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Premier League kicking off. You're wearing a Man United shirt.
United.
Lost 1-0 to Arsenal first week. But look, positive signs.
Very positive.
That's the main thing. Cunha.
Wow.
He's a baller.
Man Cunha.
Baller. Real baller.
What position is he?
In Amarin's system, he's kind of like a cam.
A cam, right.
That number 10.
So what's Bruno playing?
He's playing like deeper. He's playing like a centre mid. Which is, I don't love. I think Bruno's better as a sort of in the forward areas. But, yeah. Anyway, United lost. Couple results, though. United haven't played for their second week yet. But Spurs beating Man City this morning. Or last night, sorry.
Wow.
Criminal. I mean, City were horrendous. It was... Spurs beat them 2-0. It was a walk in the park. Didn't get out of first gear. City were horrendous.
Everyone was saying they were back after last week.
Well, they beat Wolves. You must be back. If you beat Wolves, it means you're back.
Yeah.
No, City looked horrendous. They had no creativity. It didn't look like they were going to score if they played for 200 years. Never mind 90 minutes.
So they've obviously lost De Bruyne. De Bruyne. Who's
yeah, let's not. Can you fucking not disrespect him like that?
No, he's a Premier League legend, one of the best players of all time. Who have they signed like a attacking player? Because he was obviously their maestro, their sort of creative.
He moved
guy.
deeper into the midfield later in his career. So they signed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Toby Rudolph.
No, his name is actually Reindeer. Reindeers.
What? No, it's not.
That's his name. His name's Reindeers.
Reindeers.
From Syria.
Right.
He looked really good against Wolves. Didn't look good this week. They signed Cherky from Lyon, who's like a techie baller, but a bit chubby.
A bit chubby. Bit of a Samir Nasri.
Yeah, Marseille. Yeah, later in the career, Samir Nasri. Yeah. So yeah, they didn't look good at all. Creativity wise, yeah, it was just weird. They were just not City at all. And Spurs, credit to Spurs, they looked really, really solid with Thomas Frank. They kicked out Ange, obviously, not to our pleasure, but...
Did they sign him? Because I saw Madison did his ACL.
Yeah, so they signed a guy called Kudus from West Ham. They haven't really replaced... They've kind of moved one of their centre mids up into sort of where Madison used to play. But yeah, they looked really compact. They looked really solid. Their defense looked really good. They just looked really on the ball. Didn't look as fluid, really, but they didn't need to. And look, I think Spurs will probably finish top 6 this year. But you can say that now, but it's very early. I think under Ange, when he first got there, they started the season like with 8 wins and 2 draws. So, like, take it with a pinch of salt. These Spurs players are known for sort of starting the season well and then fucking falling off. So, yeah. But look, they look good. Arsenal also won 5-0 this morning against Leeds. Gyökeres finally scored. People are hyping up like he's fucking playing well. Look, he's always going to be good in transition. But, like, with a team with actual defenders that sit back, that know how to defend in a system that's organised, I just think he's going to struggle. Against the big teams, against the Spurs, I don't know where he's going to find space. He's a player that needs space to really sort of thrive and get in behind. But that's not really the Premier League a lot of the time, unless your team plays like that. But Arsenal don't. So if he went to Tottenham, I think he'd actually do really well because they play a bit of counter attack. They're a bit more defensive and they like to sort of break on teams. But Arsenal like to hold the ball. They're a really possession-based team. So it's going to be interesting to see how he worked. Because against Man United, he was horrendous. Because, yeah, whenever they tried to sort of retain possession, and United didn't allow transitions, really, it was really clunky. So we'll see. I think, look, 2 weeks into the season, you can never judge it. You really need to see sort of 15 games.
It seems like there's been a lot of hyped strikers that... recently that come over to the Premier League and sort of don't do as well. Like, from a skills perspective, like Darwin Núñez, for example. Comes over, has, like not really the skill level required to play in the Premier League.
No.
And then this guy, Gyökeres, even Sesko, you could say.
Sesko's played 10 minutes. Yeah, look, I think the main thing is the Premier League is just...
Lukaku. Like those sorts of people.
Oh, Lukaku was good. He was a good Premier League player. He scored goals.
But he was much better in Serie A, for example.
Yeah, no, I get that. The thing is, I think the Premier League is at such good quality that it takes a really good player to really thrive and a really good coach to pair with it. Even Haaland struggled a bit last year. I think these strikers that thrive in other leagues, like the Portuguese league, like you'll have weeks where you're playing really like stinky opponents, and you can thrive off them. And you're playing against 4 probably really good teams or good teams, In the Premier League, there is no week off. Every team would be in a top 6 race in every other league. So it's a really tough one for these players to come over and really thrive. So yeah, I'm not surprised that they're a bit stinky at the moment. But again, you can only see with time. I wouldn't sort of rule out Gyökeres or Sesko or sort of anyone. I think Darwin's a separate situation. I think he's kind of similar to Gyökeres, and I think that's why I'm a bit more skeptical of him, because comes from the same league, both prolific in the year that before they signed, both really rely on transition, both can score pretty cool goals, both have horrendous first touch and not good link-up play. So those strikers tend to not do fantastic. I'm going to be honest. But, look, I could be wrong. You could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
And it could just be that he plays with great players in Arsenal that help feed him, and he turns out to score 25 Premier League goals this year. You don't know. But yeah, I think it's just a trend of how good the Premier League is and what the quality in terms of standard has to be to be playing elite football. It's not easy, and yeah, some players just aren't cut out for the pressure as well as the sort of talent that's in the Premier League.
No, I could probably do it, but
yeah,
most people can't.
Before your injury,
before my injury.
Yeah, wasn't AC Milan and sort of Man United were sort of sniffing around?
I did play like junior AC Milan.
Oh, did you? Did you go to Italy and all?
No, it was based in Sydney.
Oh, do they have their academies in Sydney?
Yes, right. They've got academies everywhere.
Yeah,
they're well connected.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to United last week, was everyone? I saw something about the goalkeeper. Was everyone mad at him for the goal? Was that?
Yeah, he was retarded. Yeah, he's not a good keeper. He's not backup keeper.
Why is Onana injured?
He was. I think he didn't have enough sort of game time.
He's a goalkeeper.
I know. It was controversial when he was picked. I think it was kind of a foul. He was tugging on his arm, which obviously hinders him. But you got to be stronger in there. There was actually a penalty that I should have been a stonewaller against Saliba.
I did see that where he got kicked in the back. Yeah,
I don't know how that wasn't a pen. But no, that was just a game that should have probably been a draw, but Arsenal scammed a lucky win. Just how it is. If we would have scored, it would have just been based on one chance. Like, we didn't create an overwhelming amount of chances in that game. But yeah, we played well, at least. So yeah, Premier League's kicked off. Hopefully United can get a goalkeeper in, but we'll see. We're linked with some young Belgian guy, but I don't know. We'll see. Moving on. Any sport you want to move on to next?
We can touch on UFC. The last pay-per-view was the middleweight title fight, Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. Quite a boring fight.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I don't know if you watched it, but quite a boring fight from all accounts. Absolute domination from Chimaev. Ragdolled him for 23 of the 25 minutes. And we have a new middleweight champion. Khamzat Chimaev finally has done it. It feels like it's taken him about 5 years to actually get a title shot from when he came into the UFC.
Yeah.
But he's now done it. He's the middleweight champ. And it looks very difficult to beat him. I mean, Dricus du Plessis is coming off wins against Whittaker, Adesanya, and Strickland. And then Khamzat just destroys him.
Khamzat.
So,
yeah.
We could be witnessing the birth of a mythical fighter.
Another one. No, I think Khamzat, when he's within the weight limit, is always dominant. Even when he's outside, but he doesn't have a chance to win a title when he's outside of it. But from the first second that you see him, he's just so strong. It's like du Plessis is muscled up to the nth degree, and he's still getting ragdolled by him. Was a bit of a boring fight. I think for fans that love a bit of a cucking on television, they probably liked it.
Well, the region that he comes from, they love it.
How did you know that?
Huh?
How do you know that?
Well, they just love wrestling.
But I said cucking. How do you know they love?
I mean that style of fighting.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily the cucking.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you across that? That's a pretty niche There's a pretty niche sort of sector of the world there.
Well,
you've got to really know your cucking to be.
Hey, I'm well versed in the cucking universe.
Right, we say that way too much on this podcast. No, yeah, he knows how to wrestle. He knows how to wrestle. But yeah, a bit of a boring one, but I don't think it was unsurprising to anyone that sort of had tuned in. But yeah, he's a bit of a psycho. My main thing is I love to watch like UFC, like TikToks or like edits of like these fucking lunatics, like Tony Ferguson, Hamza, just how like crazy those guys are. But yeah, anyway, any other fights you want to mention on the card?
I don't think there was that. I mean, there was like a lot of good knockouts. There was 2 spinning elbow knockouts, I think. There were I don't know if you know Carlos Prates.
I do not.
He's like there's like these Brazilian guys called the Fighting Nerds now, and that because they wear glasses and stuff like that. But they're savages, like they're knocking all these dudes out. Game is gone. UFC is a bit cooked at the moment, to be honest. They did just sign that. I don't know. Maybe we can talk about this. The $7.7 billion deal with who was it? Amazon?
No,
Right.
It was. Come to me. It was something.
Oh, Paramount.
Paramount, that's right.
Paramount, which is a pretty rogue sort of place to go, I feel. I mean, in Australia, I don't think Paramount Plus is a very used platform.
Well, that's with Australian ones, because we don't have a lot of sort of foreign sports, we kind of just go to the ones that had sport. So Stan is kind of our bread and butter, especially now, because it's got rugby, it's got sort of rugby union, so Wallabies, and it's also got Premier League, and it's got other football as well. So, and I think it had, because it's like isn't it like a branch off of Channel 9?
Yeah.
So it was tied into the Olympics and all that jazz. So, yeah, they got some other cool sports there. So Paramount really doesn't relate to us, and we don't really have Paramount. They're not like a major streaming service in terms of TVs or movies. So I don't think many Australians would have it. But in terms of the cost, I mean, if you're a big UFC fan, which I know you are, you'd probably jump at it. I mean,
yeah, no more pay-per-views, which is amazing.
Well, it was a bit, the way Dana said it was almost like, if it's a big fight, we'll do a pay-per-view. Like, didn't he? He kind of alluded to the fact that there might still be pay-per-views in the options.
I don't know, but it's like it's like in the deal it says no pay-per-views. Like everything will be under just the subscription to Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Maybe there's an exception for the White House or something like that. But
do you think it's the right move to move off pay-per-view?
Well, they're not making $7.7 billion with pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So they're going to be making more money for sure. And it's guaranteed money. So there's no stress of like,
fuck, we need to sell the shit out
we
of
need
this
to get Conor McGregor back so we can make some money. You know what I mean?
I still think they do. I feel like they're stressing about that, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's guaranteed money, $7.7 billion. Everyone's saying they've just fucked over the fighters again because a lot of the fighters make money from pay-per-view points. Well, the champions at least. That's where you make your real money, where they get a percentage of each pay-per-view buy, probably $2 or $1 from every pay-per-view buy. So they're obviously going to lose out on that money. So is that going to be replenished? He came out and his big thing was like, the bonuses are going up. For 3 fighters a card, they get an extra $10,000. Good job, mate.
Yeah, you've only made an extra $4 billion from this deal. Great.
Yeah. So job, look, but from a consumer perspective, I think it's great. No more pay-per-views. You can have watch parties around the house with the boys, and you don't have to pay $80 for it. So,
yeah, I don't know. What you said. The boys really weird. That's sorry. I had to.
Did
I what I did afterwards.
The
even
boys.
More cringe. No, I like that. I like that part of it. I do think going to the pub to watch it's always cool, but it's just how it is.
See, I prefer watching it at home.
Really?
Get some pizzas over, sink some beers.
I think that's what the pub is for, no? You get some
yeah, but I don't know
pizzas,
why.
You get
it's
some
just
beers.
Comfortable on the couch. You can scream in peace.
Yeah, I think you can scream in peace in a pub anyway when the fight's on. But yeah, no, I think think it's a good deal. I think the problem is with the UFC is they needed to go to this kind of mold. It's not boxing where you have just big events where people will pay for. Now you have massive events in the UFC, but you're really limiting sort of the other cards, and you're trying to push through these big name fighters every time, and you're not letting sort of younger fighters who may have not made a name for themselves yet really sort of get a grip and sort of be able to be fighting on main cards and stuff like that. I know they still do it, but like I think it sort of incentivizes them to more pick talent over sort of how well you can chat, which I like, because then it means Colby Covington's just not the only guy that's fighting on a main card. And it's like, fuck it, do we have to go through this circus again? So I think it's ultimately a good thing because it sort of how the business is set up. It is like another sports organization. It's like a Premier League or an NBA because they fight every week. You know, it's not like a boxing where you have one event every 3 months. So yeah, I agree. I think it was the right thing to do, getting on a streaming service, making it more accessible. And if it turns out well for Paramount Plus, then it'll go to even a bigger company in future years.
It'll be interesting how many subscriptions because they're obviously going to get, I would guess, millions of subscriptions from the UFC going there. How many they would need to break even or generate a profit. But it's obviously, it's interesting that Netflix didn't get it. I would have thought if it was going to a streaming service, Netflix would just get it. But they obviously weren't willing to pay $7.7 billion. So that it's obviously obviously
but you always expect it though. It's like when you're already the top dog, you're not going to spend overs on a streaming on a product. You know, you're gonna like Netflix don't need to do this. They already have some deals for a lot of money for other sport deals like the NFL. They've got a couple of games. I know they had obviously Jake Paul boxing, but that's
they got the WWE now.
WWE, so they're already spending a bit of money on sports, so they didn't really need to go full out for the UFC because it is still a risk. It's never been tested in a streaming sort of service before. And yeah, what is the future of the UFC without the prospect of a John Jones or a Conor McGregor? Who's the next guy going to be? Ilia Topuria, great fighter. He's not Conor McGregor though. He can't sell a fight like Conor McGregor. So it's it's going to be a bit interesting to see who sort of takes the mantle in terms of the big dog of the UFC.
But yeah, there's no one really. I mean, maybe Paddy Pimblett.
No,
was thought to be that guy when he was first coming up, but he's sort of had a few
have the
speed
talent
bumps.
to do it. Yeah,
well, he's actually improved quite a lot.
He's improved, but he doesn't fight like he's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Like the perfect marriage is obviously you've got to be able to chat. I don't even think Paddy Pimblett talks that much shit.
He does talk shit.
Does he?
He does. He has a really big rivalry with Topuria actually.
Okay.
They were talking shit when they were on the same press conference. They were fighting different people, obviously, but they were on stage together and they were just going back and forth.
Okay.
So that would be a crazy fight if it could eventuate. Paddy probably needs to get one more win. But yeah, and even it's just so different nowadays. It's almost like it's 10 years ago, the UFC was kind of not sure what it was in the sports landscape, and the fighters were just doing everything they could to try and make it mainstream, make it entertaining. It was more than just the pure sport of it. But now it's because it's become so mainstream and so popular, it's like nobody gets on the mic after a fight and cuts a promo and starts talking shit or calls someone out. It's so bland almost now. It's, nobody's really doing anything different. It's all about how can I wrestle my way to a championship, pretty much.
Yeah. It's not ideal.
So it's definitely lacking, which is...
Well, that's why we need Conor back. He's fighting again. He's back in the testing pool.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, and he's released some training footage.
He's beating up some little kids.
He doesn't even look good. He looks slow.
He does.
He looks slow.
He's massive. He's absolutely huge.
And he's like 38 now.
Yeah. It's sad. He missed the years of his prime.
He did. All of his...
Why not just do the extra stuff and the alcohol and the gambling, whatever, and live this lifestyle when you turn 38? Do it then.
He literally wasted his prime fighting years. Like, he was double champ before he was 30.
Yeah.
Like, your prime fighting years are 30 to 35. He wasted all of them doing nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously, he did a lot of stuff, but nothing.
And I looked at Habib lost, but like he was in such a bad headspace for that. Like, you can be chatting shit, but like he was like drinking heavily. Like he was not in a physical, even though he
was still pretty solid in that fight.
But he was still good though.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about how good his takedown defense was in that fight, I mean, Habib at that time was untouchable. Like, no one could even be close to him, but he was actually showing some really good takedown defense, and sort of staying in the fight with him. But yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. Losing to Poirier, I think the first loss to Poirier was just the needle in the, it was just done. It was done then.
Yeah, at that point, everyone still thought he was a legit guy. I think he was coming off the win against Cowboy, which, that's not really a win. But anyway.
It's like him betting Chandler now. It's like, great.
Cool. Yeah. So he lost to Poirier, and then he obviously snapped his ankle, and that was the last we've seen of him. So.
And look, you can't hate on it too much. I know people are like, if it was a team sport, I'd be fucking pissed. But this is like it's the people that get upset about like Kyrgios, like in tennis. It's like he's his own he's his own brand, like he's his own athlete. Like if you're just a fan of one player and you're upset, or one athlete, and he pisses around, well, that's your fault for just supporting a person instead of a team, mate. So Conor McGregor, I get everyone wants to see him fight, but if you had $500-600 million, you wouldn't be fucking just, I'm going to go to bed at 8 and get up at 5 o'clock and train, It's very easy even for like other UFC fighters to say, Conor McGregor's lost. Like, even to Poirier to say, Conor McGregor's lost it. He never, like, just talking shit about him. Like, if you had that amount of money, you'd maybe slack off the Monday morning fucking training sessions. Sorry, but you would. Now, would you go to Conor McGregor extreme? Probably not, but that's by the by. He's living his life. He's gone crazy, but like, you can't blame the guy. He's
done some criminal things.
Yeah, no,
you can probably blame him for that.
No, you can't. But like, people that are saying, he's fallen off, like, how's his life gone downhill? Like, bro, he's living better than any, like, 99.9999% of people in the world. So he wakes up every morning on his yacht, has servants make fucking scrambled eggs on toast for him.
Yeah, but it was like, it's obviously an amazing, incredible life, but it seems lonely. Like, I don't think
he's got a family. He's not lonely.
He's got a family, but I don't think he has friends.
I don't know.
Like, do you think Conor McGregor goes round to his mate's house for dinner?
Yeah, but does any athlete of that stature ever have any kind of normalcy in terms of private life? No. They don't have any. They can't just go to the pub and just say, hey, mate, let's watch the Premier League tonight. Let's watch the NBA.
No, but you can go around to someone's house.
I think... Who's to say that he doesn't have that?
I've never seen it. He posts everything else. You'd think he'd post that.
Mate, I don't know. I just think... Yeah, if people had his life... It's like the meme on TikTok that's like... People are like clowning like Conor McGregor, and then it's like, if I was the third choice Burnley goalkeeper, and it's like a hangover scene or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's kind of like that. It's like, it's easier to say that when we're working 9 to 5, like, and we're just like living in suburbia. Like, it's easy to fucking say that, but when you're one of the biggest, most famous people on the planet and got a shit ton of money, you kind of do what you want.
You do, but that's why
I'd rather not get in a cage and fight someone. I don't really have to do that anymore. So.
No, but that's why he got into it, mate, for the love of it. He loves that stuff.
But he got into it because
you don't get that adrenaline from money.
He got into it because he was like a plumber, and he was like, I fucking hate this life. I want to fight. And then
he fell in love with the game.
Yeah, and then he got in the head a lot. I mean, it's not like he's fucking kicking a ball around. He's fucking getting punched in the head every day. You might lose some fucking common sense when you do that.
Well, yeah, he's a completely different person to when he first started. If you go back and watch some of his older interviews, he was actually quite a reserved and he's still well spoken to an extent, but not in the same way. Mm. And he was very intelligent, and he was direct with it. He was talking shit, but it was like really witty and smart. Now he's just a bit helter skelter.
Yeah, and look, props to him. Hopefully, he does fight in the UFC White House edition.
Turn directly towards me.
Oh, sorry, I'm just swinging on my chair. Hopefully he does fight in the White House card, and he can the all-time comeback. Could you imagine if he won the title over Ilia Topuria? Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
No chance, but yeah.
But that would be. I think I would cry. I honestly think I'd cry.
I don't know if I'd cry. I would love to see the odds. He'd have to be like 15-1.
Oh, he'd be more than that, sure.
I'd say that would be the biggest underdog ever. I don't think I've seen a 10
and then Jose Aldo's him and just knocks him out within 10 seconds.
Yeah. Probably not going to happen, but...
I'm just dreaming. Anyway, anything else you want to comment about? Anything else you want to wrap up with?
I don't know. Anything else happening? Not that I can see.
Great ending. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, please. See you later.
Peace out.